Hi everybody, here we are again. This is tutorial number 4. If you haven't seen tutorial number 3, I would say you can skip it, or I don't know, fast forward during it. I was just reviewing it, and well, you know, it just seemed to be me mumbling to myself a lot and saying lots of pixel coordinates and numbers over and over again. It seemed really boring. It goes on for like 25 minutes. But yeah, I will give that one a miss. So, what's happened since the last time I did a video? I uploaded it to a server, then downloaded it to my iPad so I can look at it through the app, through the Electricomics app, and proofread it and check it out. My proofreading is horrible, but it's very important, again, to try and go through it like a reader for the first time and spot any mistakes, anything you want to change. So I found a few typos I need to change. Something I did change, however, let me go over here and show you. This was much lower down, and it just didn't work. But again, this is something you can only really get when you run it through a dry run. So I had to move everything. Oh look, there's a tutorial just posted. Yay! So I had to run through this entire sequence and move everything up, and I moved it all up, I think 110 pixels, roughly. And it was just worth doing it. It makes it a much better user experience, so I'd recommend it highly. Fine. Also, I missed out a speech balloon over here, so I had to add in another panel. Good. So what I'm going to do now is show you how I do the cover and how just what I do to wrap up any Electricomics. So I'm going to need to add in 2 more pages. Doink, doink. And take the last one and drag it all the way to the beginning. Back. Which, if you don't know what I'm doing right now, I now think for some reason I've got to wait for a bit. Okay, if you don't know what I'm doing when I said back over and over again, it was a Doctor Who reference to a 1970s episode of Doctor Who with Tom Baker, where he meets another Time Lord who's a brain in a glass jar, and then he gets put on a big Frankenstein monster's body, and they have this really weird duel where they mentally fight each other, and they try and force each one back through his different incarnations. And you see Doctor Who's that or never Doctor Who. It was really just a production team dressed up in a bunch of Victorian gear. However, that's what they were doing. That's what they did. Back there. There you go. Anyway, that's utterly meaningless and doesn't add up to anything. So what I've done is this. You know what? Let's do this first. I'll show you the cover. This is a title page I made for the comic called I'm calling it Occupy Thyself instead of Occupy Yourself. I think that's it's a bit nicer title. And so this is the title page I made. It's 768 by 1024, so it's just one image. And over here is the cover folder. Now here's how you make a cover. You create a file, how big? Image size 250 by 350 pixels. Okie dokie. Then I kind of like to pick an image that I've used during the comic. So I like this one over here. So I'm going to just grab this and copy it. Now this is going to be way too big. Now as you see, I've reused this file over and over again because I just like doing that. I'm just a bit lazy, and it works out well for me. Oh, and so there I am. Okay. Now I want to reuse this text over here. It's going to be way too big, but that way it stays looking the same across many media, and I get I get some kind of branding feel going on. Occupy thyself. Yeah, it's that white line around it's too thick, so I'll be dealing with that in a second. Scoop this up. Stroke. So make it down 2. 2's too little. Let's go for 3. Ah, just right. Fine. Let me scoop this image down a bit. Ah, but I see. This is you know, I really don't like it that this is so big. Let me make it smaller. You know what? I think I'm going to make it black as well. Maybe do it on one line. Who knows? Let's give that a try. Occupy thyself. I was going to put occupy thyself, but then I looked it up, and the internet has never heard of such a thing. Occupy thyself. I think that drop shadow is a bit much, and also let's make it black. Maybe just make the whole thing in caps. That might be a way to go. Where's the there we go. And we'll just see what that looks like when it's a bit smaller. Now, question is that legible? Is it going to be legible in the app? So, only one way to really find out. Move this up a touch. I think it's going to be too small. We go to Save Us for Web, and I give you a little preview of what it. Yeah, I think it needs to be bigger. Yeah, I suppose that's the point of these tutorials. You see the work as it happens. But I do think it's going to be kind of boring for people. You know, I hope if you're at home going, yes, V, it's very boring. Just don't tell me. I'm a very fragile soul, and I need as much emotional support as I can possibly get. Yeah, like, oh, Svi, you're so wonderful, something like that. And here, have some toast. There you go. You know, I'm going to give it a black line around the white line. Do that by duplicating the layer. Go into the stroke, make the stroke black. Yeah, that was pretty good. That's actually pretty a little better. I like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Occupy thyself. And then I'm going to copy this layer again so I get the same font. I'm going to make it small. Whoa, how did I do that? I copied 2 layers at once. I didn't know you could do that. Well, there you go. See. So you're seeing education in action. We're not going to do this all caps because this is going to be my name. Now, I always feel it's kind of vain to put one's name on these things. And it is. There's a reason why I feel that. Because it is kind of vain. However, I would say the hardest part of trying to dig yourself a career in the funny books business is you need to do lots and lots of self-promotion. So you gotta have like branding, and you gotta just keep putting your name out there all the time, which really is kind of uncomfortable for me. What's worse is when you're trying to get people to review your work and you just bug them over and over again. It's just torturous. Not quite as torturous as being on social media all the time and like beating a drum of your own work, which is again just like I don't enjoy doing at all. I just want to make comics. That's all I really want to do. I just want to make comics. Well, I want to make comics and I want to make a living making comics, but failing that, I just want to make a living. That'd be nice. Yeah, the famous joke that Jewish joke. A Jewish gentleman is hit by a car, and he's like on the sidewalk, and the EMTs come help him and says, "Are you all right?" They say, "Are you all right?" And he goes, "I make a living." So there you go, a little bit of Jewy humor for you. Now, should I get egotistical and make my picture bigger? Let's have a look, see what it looked like. I'm thinking probably not, but let's have a look. Gee, maybe yes. Let's have a look, see what that looks like. Yeah, okay, I'm going to go for that. I like that. Fine, so you save it as a PNG. This is 119K, but how much will be on PNG? Well, it's much smaller there. But there seems to be a blurring of quality. Is it a drop of quality? Hard to tell. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to go for the higher one, the higher file size, because I think there's a minute change in quality, and when you're dealing with images this small, it's you don't want to do it. So here's what you do. Once you're ready to do it, you just save this image. It's again 250 by 350 pixels. You save it within the Electricomics folder, occupy. There you go, as cover.png. Save, doink, done. So now there's just two more things to do. One, add in the starting page, which is this one, start. I conveniently called it start. Upload. Tap to start, and then go all the way to the end, and add in the closing page. And closing page is just more me trying to get my name out there and beat my own drum. There you go. We've got lots of new Electricomics coming in 2016, starting January 1st. We've got this really cool, like 2000 AD-esque strip called, I think we're going to call it Red Ghost. It's done with Stefano Cardacelli, so it's, if you've seen Pure Blood, it's the same sort of thing as that. There's like lots of action, and I really want to get like, you know, more kind of an anime feel. Even though I really don't like anime movies, I want to get like that anime kineticness going through it, and I really get, you know, the blood pumping. That's done January 1st. I got the last episode of Stoners, and then there's going to be Stoners Season 2. And then, of course, there's this comic, Biblical. Biblical is going to come out next week. Next week will be before January 1st, 2016. Because I backed myself in the corner. I said coming in December, so I've really got to do it next week. So that's Biblical, and how I'm going to do that, I'm going to make it free to download, and it'll be donor pay, and we'll see how that goes. Maybe someone will donate $1, maybe 50 cents, maybe they won't, I don't know. This is virgin territory for all of us, and I'm intrigued to see where it's going to go. Fine, so let me just save this project. We're going to generate it. Doink, and we're good. And I'm going to upload it and give it a final test. Always upload and give it a test before you make it live. That will be my advice to you. Oh look, here are the tutorials. Okay. And we're good. Okay. I hope you found these helpful. The next tutorial is going to be how to use the web client, so people can look at these on Android or PC desktops. The reason I'm not going to do this on this comic is because I've never used it before, and I'm going to work it out, but I will do that one next week. Okay, please send me in any questions. If you've got any questions, go to Biblical Comics, www.biblicalcomics.com, and be in contact. Thank you very much. Toodle pip.